right, let me start off by saying that I absolutely love your channel. Thank you, girl. Anyway, when I can steal a few minutes out of my day, I check out your channel. I love the fact that you're happily married. You are the only personal example I have of a happy marriage that I have in my life. My question is, I am starting to get into dating again after quite a few years. I know some men are put off by women with children. I have a 10-year-old son. I want to know if I should volunteer the fact that I have children before being asked. All of my girlfriends are single, and I don't see how any of them can help me with preparing for my king. Thank you for your time and any advice you have to give. All right, so let's go get him. I actually ran this by my husband, and because I asked my husband, from a male perspective, how would you feel if I had kids? Is that something that you wanted to know right away? And my husband says yes, and I agree. I do think that you should. But I want to do your strawberry letter because there's a fine line. There's a fine line between giving up pertinent information and giving up personal information. Now let me spill the tea. Okay, telling him whether or not you have children is important because for some men that could be a deal breaker. But pretty much I would leave it for the most part there. Sometimes women have a tendency to become a babbling brook. Like you got some kind of truth serum and you got to just tell it all on the first date. This is not the time to talk about ugly divorces and breakups and exes that broke your heart, exes that still have your heart, men you're trying to get over, prior abuse, abusive relationships. Baby steps. Okay, you can't give a man too much too soon. This is not an interview process when you're trying to get the job and you're like, man, I really want this job. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know because you may never ask to interview me again. I may never see you again. There's a certain amount of mystery that you should leave, and everything is not everybody's business. There's certain information that a man who has dated you for 10 dates gets that a man who has dated you for the first date does not get. The more you get to know me, the more I will slowly reveal myself to you. And so, yeah, you want to tell him about the children, but just don't give him too much personal details. Just give him pertinent details. This is a deal breaker for some men. And you want to go ahead and put that out there to see if he's even worth wasting his time or your time. Don't just worry about it wasting his time. If he doesn't like kids, I'm sure you don't want him anyway. So why go out on a date with him and waste your time and you getting all cute and thinking, oh, I got your hair done, your nails done, hair done, nails did, everything did. And then you get to meet him and he ain't talking about nothing. He can't stand kids, or he doesn't want kids, or the idea of raising somebody else's kid turns him off, or whatever it is. You want to be able to kind of diffuse situations beforehand if you can. So I say, tell him. If he has asked you out on a date, let him know, or you can say it in a subtle way, or you can say it directly, but you should let him know. Whether you're saying, well, please let me know when, so I can try to get a sitter for my son. So he may be like, son, we got a child? Like, yeah, I have a 10-year-old. He might say, well, I love kids. All right, well, I'll tell you when we can have the date. Or he may say, I didn't know you had kids. Or he may even be a punk and cancel at the last minute or something like that. But at least you put it out there. I think that it doesn't look good for you to get a date or two out of him and you're holding this huge secret back. I think it's kind of something that you should put out there. Not every single detail. Like I said about, the baby daddy and all this other stuff. Just baby steps. If he asks you certain questions, you want to answer them without giving him every single detail of your life. When you're dating somebody, there should be a certain amount of mystery, a certain amount of intrigue. Why would he want date 5 and 6 and 7 if you told him everything he ever wants to know on the first date? And there's also first date information, giving too much too soon could be dangerous in the respect that some men are very attentive. And you think they're not listening, but they are. Never give the man the blueprint to your heart. Don't tell him everything to do, everything to say, because let me tell you how this goes. You go on a date and you tell him, oh yeah, I do have a son, my husband and my ex-husband, we had a bad breakup, he cheated on me, and I forgave him the first time, but when I found out about, a second and a third girl, I just couldn't take it anymore, and I broke up with him. I just had to let him go. So you're telling him that. So you know what he gets from that? Okay, cheating on her ain't that big a deal. Because she let him cheat the first time, and she didn't leave him until the second or the third time. That's what you told him. You think you told him about the ex, but what you told him is, cheating is not a huge deal. She can forgive cheating. Even if in the back of your mind you feel that, you never say that. You never put that out there. They will take that and run with it. You talk about a man who was once abusive, and you stayed with him for 6 years. So you know what that tells him? Okay, she's used to being slapped around a little bit. So this may not, if I ever put my hands on her, it won't be the first time, anything like that. Too much, too soon. You may find that out later down the line, but you will not get that kind of information on the first date. Be careful how much you tell, because the wrong man will take notes and he will use that information against you. Get to know him. Keep it lighthearted and fun. You want him to ask you out. You want him to feel like, I really want to get to know this girl. I got to get a second date to talk to her more. Don't just give him everything in the first try. Because if you give him too much, he might think, man, this girl got too much drama going on. All I wanted was dinner. All I wanted was dinner and a good conversation. And this girl told me about this one and this one and this one. It could also be a turnoff if you tell too much too soon. You want to be fun, lively. Yeah, ask me out enough. You're not saying that, but your conversation should be enough to say, I'm interesting, I'm fun, I'm exciting. You want to get to know me, don't you? You have to ask me on the second date. And that's what you want to do. You tell him about the kid. You tell him a little bit about it if he asks. Don't volunteer too much information. And never give him the blueprint. Keep a lot of things, play your cards close to your chest. You don't know this man. You want this man to get to know you for who you are now. Not who you used to be. Not who you were back then. The new you. You want him to get to know the new you. You don't want to give him too much of your past. That's not you anymore. You learn from those experiences. That's old Cynthia, old Janice, old Kim. This is the new you got right here. Those situations didn't make me bitter. They made me better. And that's who you're meeting right now. So you might want to ask me out again so you can see how much I've changed, how much I've learned, how much I've grown. Embrace who you are. Nothing wrong with having a child. Nothing wrong. You're not hiding that. No, I'm proud of my son. That's what I'm proud of my son. I have a wonderful, handsome son who's into sports, and he's amazing. He's bursting with energy. Yeah, you're a proud mom. A good man would love that because it means you're a nurturer. You can take care of someone. It's kind of sexy. It's to the right man. Some men may be turned off by that, and you don't want him anyway. You want the kind of man that's like, all right. Because if he's thinking about having kids, he can see you with this son and say, okay, she's a good mom. And what man looking to marry someone and have kids isn't looking for someone who is a good mom? He gets a preview. It's not a bad thing. It's a bonus. He gets a preview. Oh, she's a good mom. Yeah, she'll make a good mom to my kids. If he can think that far into the future. Most men are just thinking she look cute in them jeans. But anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and of course, if you like what I do, please subscribe. It's free, all right? Till next time.